It is Throwback Thursday, which is time to take a deep dive into our archives. The world-famous killer whale Skana was part of the first pod of orcas captured, and the second killer whale brought to the Vancouver Aquarium on March 20th, 1967. Skana brought in thousands of visitors, becoming one of the biggest attractions at the center. This is a piece remembering Skana after she died.
She was one of our biggest, certainly one of our most lovable attractions. The 18-year-old mammal was an integral part of Vancouver life. Over the years, she collected thousands of friends, young and old alike, who came to watch her perform or simply swim regally in her aquarium home. Skana's welfare has been very much a public affair. Even her name, an Indian word meaning killer whale, was picked after a citywide contest. So it was natural that when she sickened 2 weeks ago with an infection in her reproductive tract, letters and phone calls flooded in. But Skana failed to improve. She refused to eat and didn't respond to daily injections of antibiotics. She died early this morning as two vets and curator Gil Hewitt stood by.
Skana's been with us for 13 years now, for more than 13 years. So you get to know her and you get to respect her and you get to love her. And, it is like losing, somebody that you care, a human being that you care very much for.
With her great bulk hoisted onto a van, Skana made her final long ride through her Stanley Park home. She had been there since March 1967, when the aquarium bought her from the operator of the boat show. It was the longest time ever that a killer whale had survived in captivity. Aquarium staff asked that the doors not be opened until noon Sunday out of respect for Skana. It was only then that members of the public learned with a shock that their big, gentle friend was dead.
Oh, it's sad. Because we used to watch the whale show.
That's really too bad.
Jeez. Really sad.
Curator Hewitt describes Skana's illness as mysterious. Until the results of the autopsy are in, no one will quite know for sure why she died. Behind her, Skana leaves her buddy Hayek, the teenager killer whale. And for many Vancouver folk, a lot of delightful memories.
We're now joined by Chloe Robinson, the director of the Whales Initiative at Oceanwise. Chloe, thanks for joining us. Skana, first of all, is considered a, quote, world-famous killer whale who changed how we think about the conservation of cetaceans. Why was she so pivotal?
So Skana was so pivotal for this because she really helped people to engage and fall in love with killer whales. So killer whales were typically seen through the eyes of fear and seen as this vermin in the environment that regularly shot at, actually, for fun, because they thought they were stealing their fish. And actually, Skana helped people overcome this fear and fall in love with killer whales.
We've come a long way since keeping cetaceans in captivity, certainly. How have attitudes around the captivity of whales particularly changed over the years? And I remember seeing some of that footage of when they would, in fact, drag orcas through the water to try and get them into aquariums. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, very brutal indeed. This was, again, back in the realm of time when killer whales were very feared. And through captivity, we really learned how social, how intelligent, and how emotional these animals are, and how unethical it actually really is to be keeping them in captivity. We cannot really cater to their natural needs in a tank, essentially. And we only knew this through actually keeping whales in captivity. And really this has seen a shift towards this captive look at their science and what we can learn from them, really into the wild populations, what we can learn from those via all the different technologies we have at hand now, cameras and drones and other methods.
Is it a bit ironic, though, that it took capturing them and keeping them in aquariums that we learned all these wonderful things about them?
Oh, yes, most definitely. It's a shame and it's heartbreaking to think of those whales that were kept in captivity, even those that still remain in captivity, when we know now how damaging it can be, both mentally and physically on them. And I'm sure throughout the pandemic, we are a lot more, we empathize more. We know what quarantine and being stuck in our houses is like now. And imagine that being your life. And that's essentially the case for these whales.
So we've moved beyond a lot of aquariums keeping whales in captivity. What are some of OceanWise's whale initiatives now?
So OceanWise, within the Whales Initiative, we actually have 2 pillars where we conduct our work. We have one pillar which involves our 20-year-plus citizen science network that send real-time sightings to that then get sent into alerts to aware large commercial vessels such as cargo ships of a whale's presence to avoid ship strike. And then we also work on cetacean health and monitoring. So we use drones, we use DNA monitoring, photo ID to monitor populations of killer whales, humpback whales across our BC coast and beyond to help deliver these conservation solutions to help tackle the current threats such as ocean pollution, underwater noise, ship strikes and lack of prey that our whale populations face today.
Chloe Robinson, Director of the Whales Initiative at OceanWise, we appreciate your time and your expertise. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.